Back to the Adam Carolla Show, where it's time to count down the top 5 things that pissed Adam off last week.
Who's laughing?
Last week in Rage on the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, I'm up on my feet. And that means either I'm ready for action or I got to whiz. In this case, both. No! Nothing!
Last week.
Are you high? I get angry. I hate that.
In Rage.
Nothing!
Number 5.
I always say, I was just out there, somebody dropped off a baker's dozen of cupcakes on Friday, and I announced, when was this vote taken?
Yeah.
When did we decide that it was okay for adults to trade in cupcakes? When did these things have a renaissance?
It started with Sex in the City.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, absolutely.
One more reason to be angry at that Carrie Bradshaw. I thought cupcakes went away. I didn't, I had a great time. I saw cupcakes last at some kid's birthday party in 1972 and then never saw another cupcake for 27 years until they came back onto the scene about 5 years ago. And I don't care if these are gourmet cupcakes. We have gourmet cupcakes. They're called pies and cakes. Cupcake is essentially a cake that you don't think is a cake because it fits in your hand, but calorically it has more calories in it than a cake, and nobody ever looked cool eating a cupcake. You got the frosting all over your eyebrows. It's in one nostril. You're standing there trying to have a conversation. If you eat it with a fork and knife, you're a dork. If you try to eat it with your hand, you get frosting all over your face. There's sprinkles all over it. And there's always one a-hole trying to talk you back into cupcakes. Have you been to this place? Oh, they got a peanut butter and jelly. I understand they make a good version of a goddamn cupcake. Make it into a cake. Make it into a pie. Please let us become adults again. I don't like to be a 45-year-old guy eating a cupcake standing next to a guy with a skull tattooed on his neck.
Number 4.
Stores with no cats. All right, now, you got to stick with me on this one, kiddies. Growing up, there was a couple of chains. You had your Sears and your May companies and places like that, but a lot of ma and pa stores. And ma and pa seemed to like stray cats. You'd go into that little corner store. Sometimes it'd be a tailor, sometimes it'd be a cleaner, sometimes it'd be a transmission shop or a place that just rebuilt carburetors or something. And there was the store cat. It wasn't the guy's cat. It was the store cat. It was like the mascot for the store. And you never got the feeling that the guy brought it home, and you never got the feeling the guy said, well, I'm going to open a small gas-powered repair shop. Like, I'm going to open a lawnmower repair shop. I got to get me a cat. No, the cat showed up, but the cat was there. And the cat would walk around, and sometimes the cat would rub on you, and other times you'd just be up on that weird glass counter, and sometimes you'd be on top of like a busted-down refrigerator or a TV in the back there. But you had a cat. Stores had a cat, and I kind of like that.
Me too. Walmart doesn't have a cat.
No, they have old people greeting you. How about greeter cats? You know what I think it is? I think it's the dander and all the allergic this and that and all the weird litigious society we're living in, minus everything being a big box store and a big chain, and there's no way. But I would definitely go to Walmart if they just let like 15 feral cats just run loose. I like the idea of me reaching up to get a toaster oven being attacked. But it was always weird when you went into the store, you know what I mean? Because you'd be talking to the guy about lawnmowers, and you're like, well, if it's an O-ring, we can have the part out here by Tuesday. What's his name? That's Gus. And if it turns out it needs a whole rebuild, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have that quick little cat discussion, then you do like, is he friendly? And the cat would always come by and rub on you. And you feel like the cat adopted the store. The cat just showed up and hung out, and the guy put some milk out. I want my cats back in my stores. Let's go, people.
Number 3.
Speaking of Barack being sworn in, I feel, and maybe it's just because this is the first one I've watched since Lincoln, but I felt like there was an ass full of religion in this one. And every time I complain to people about this, why is there so much religion? I mean, separation of church and state, and here we are bringing all these ministers and pastors and everybody, and everyone's answer to me is, he's got to be inclusive. He has to include everyone. Really? What about the Wiccans? What about Scientology? What about the atheists? What about the agnostics? Look, here's how you don't offend a religion. don't include any of them. Then none of them can cry foul. It has no business in our government. If you're a spiritual person, that's your goddamn business. But we need to run an effing country here, and let's get to work. And that black guy up there with, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Lowry, shut up, you old coot. I don't care if it's from a big Joe Turner song from 1927. No one knows what the F you're talking about. Just quit it. Just stop all the blowing hard. Stop talking about going to the mountain. Stop reading the stupid passages. Stop waiting for the second coming. It doesn't exist, you cowards. There's nothing out there. Let it go and get to the business of your family, of the country, of the economy. And this idea that you can't lead a moral life without God looking over your shoulder is moronic and insulting. It is. I really take great offense to that. What's to stop me from just stabbing Angie in the neck with a ballpoint pen when I'm gone off to the bathroom? What's to stop me? I have brain cells to rub together, you idiots!
Until next time.
And I'm sorry, I'm pissed off.
Last week.
I feel like everyone should be angry.
In Rage.
Spit all over the mic on that last.